Hey F1 fans, welcome to another episode of Who Moved Up and Who Moved Down in the Formula One 2026 Drivers and Constructors Championships. Let's take a look what happened other than the bazillions of speeding in the pit lane penalties that happened this week. Let's take a look at the drivers. I made some exciting changes to the app this week, but I seem to have lost the blank space here that I used to have for my little picture. So I'll just kind of stand here in between the numbers and the names and hopefully that works out and I can fix that for next time. Let's see who changed places. Okay, my goodness. Hamilton got past both George and Leclerc. Both of them were very, very much punished by, Russell by the pit lane speeding penalties, right? He got one, and then his team somehow failed to serve it correctly, and so then he had to come back in and stop again. So he lost a huge amount of time. At one point, he was running for P3, but ended up way lower. And then poor Charles struggling on the brakes, and he ended up something failed with the brakes, and he ended up in the wall just before the last lap. So that's gotta hurt. That's gotta hurt a lot. While Hamilton had a great weekend and ended up on the podium. Okay, we also got Piastri past Norris. Let's see. Oh yes, because Norris didn't get to finish. His car went bad, so no fault of his own, but there you go. And so Piastri is now a little bit ahead. Let's see what else we've got. Hajar. Wow. Okay, yeah, he did very well. He was actually tracking Max very well, both in quali pretty much and presumably in the race. But yeah, he was kind of up with him, so he had a great race, got lots of points, went from 14 to 29 and passed Lawson to boot. So wow, yay for Hajar. Lawson was doing a bad job because both of them actually went up. So Lawson actually catapulted ahead of 3 drivers as well. One of them was poor Pierre Gasly getting 2 pit lane speeding penalties. I won't rant about that, but there it is. Ollie Behrman, there, I guess Haas is still struggling, so that wasn't too much of an outlier there. Although I think both Haas's got a bit snookered during quali with timing and such. So yeah, then they couldn't warm up their tires, they couldn't get a good lap at the end, and they ended up low. So it's Monaco, you can't pass, and here we are. And Colapinto did, reasonably well, but there he is. Actually, I thought he did well, but I guess he ended up out of points. What else? Okay, we've got Lindblad gets ahead of Saints. Yeah, because Saints got taken out at the end. Okay, I don't know if you guys noticed, like put it on the comments if you noticed, but after the resumption, after the, I forget if it was red, I think it was a red flag after Stroll crashed. On the resumption, George took it upon himself to absolutely back everybody up on the restart, and nobody was expecting it, so it just got like 3 cars wide, and it was bad. And Saints was hit by both Colapinto and I think Nico. So he was just hit twice. It was just over for him. So that was pretty sad. I guess, yeah, I'm not entirely sure why George did it. That was just weird. So poor Saints, and then Lindblad had a decent weekend. We had another swap. It looks like Albon gets ahead of Bortoletto, swap, while Ocon stays the same in between. Albon and actually Saints were both having a great race, and they played the team game where one held up the pack so the other one could pit, and then this one held up the pack so the other one could pit, and they changed places, and that was a lot to manage, but they got passed by Lindblad in the meantime, but they didn't seem too upset by that, and they were both gonna do very well, 8th and 9th, until Saints crashed. So good for Albon, but Bortoletto, no points, so down we go. And then a big jump at the back because all of those drivers at the back had 0 points, and now Alonso got 1 point, which was actually Sergio's point, but he lost it from he hadn't lost it yet from starting in the wrong box on the grid because there were a lot of missing cars and he drove up into one that he wasn't supposed to. But he then had a wheel out of place on the second restart. So that's the one for which he got a penalty late, and it was after the race. And so his P10 went to Alonso, and Alonso has 1 point to show. Okay, I'm not even going to try looking at the point differences because our screen is a bit messed up this week. But suffice it to say, we have a very close gap here between Russell and Hamilton, with Hamilton on a roaring roll, and Russell just continuing his streak of terrible luck, and the car's not exactly his favorite to drive right now for his driving style, whereas Antonelli, it is. We have the other closeness was these two guys. So between Piastri and Norris, that could definitely change again. There's a good bit of closeness here. Hadjar, Lawson, Gasly. And yeah, I really feel for Gasly. He would have definitely been ahead of that had he gotten his P3. His team allowed him to celebrate the podium all the way around the victory lap, waving to the crowd, only then letting him know, oh, by the way, you're going to get down, by 10 seconds. Yeah, it just I was heartbroken for him too. That was pretty terrible for Gasly, who got a podium in Monaco. And then it's okay. Yeah, you just said that. A little bit close here, but yeah, we're getting down to where 1 point makes a big difference. So it's not as close as it might seem all throughout, and we still have 4 drivers with 0 points. Let's finish because all the rest didn't move. All the rest being only 3 drivers did not change their championship standing this week. Wow. Ocon, Max didn't even get to start because his car failed at the start after being P2 from quali. I was like, oh my God, can Max win? I would have loved to see that start between them. And of course, Antonelli still holding on to that championship real firm. Okay, teams. Let's see what they've got. Okay, we have a swaparoo at the back because Aston gets 1 point. Cadillac being the only team remaining with 0 points. And I think that's it. Yep, everyone else stays the same. Again, I won't look at the numbers for closeness, but this is closeness right here, definitely within 2 points. But Alpine's actually the team more on a roll right now. It's hard to say. Definitely with Gasly having P3, if he had gotten to keep it, that would have been yes. So yeah, I'm going to say Alpine is the team on the climb here. So let's see if that gap widens going forward. And finally, the one that I was looking forward to sharing with you, I have programmed the race animation part of the video. So this is where we get to watch through the season. So at the beginning, obviously, everyone is starting at the beginning. And then as we move, this is it. We go forward. So let me get my mouse out of the way. So Russell starts out leading. Russell's still leading. Both Ferraris doing really well. We have Norris and Behrman doing really well at the beginning. And then Leclerc pulls out ahead. Antonelli pulls out ahead. And Gasly pulls out. Oh, look at that. The McLaren's made a big jump from Miami, but Antonelli widens his gap. Antonelli widens his gap. Antonelli widens his gap. And this is also where Hamilton passed Russell. So there you go. I will be able to include this now every weekend. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and share with your friends to help get viewers. I might be looking at simplifying the video a little bit. We're going through some health issues here at home. So yeah, it's taken a toll, and it's harder to find the energy to do all of this. I still want to do it. I know I still want to see it for myself, but if you see it simplified next week, like maybe I'm not talking as much or doing like an intro as much or an outro as much, that would be why. But your support is a big boost. It helps my little heart know that there's people who like to see this kind of content. I'll try and keep it short, keep it fun, and keep it all about the moves. And so then I will see you after the next race. Be sure to come back after Barcelona, Spain.